Hello everybody, it's Jamie from Old Shipping Lines and welcome back to a new video. Today, we're talking about a beautiful Italian ocean liner, the SS Leonardo da Vinci. Built for the Italian line, she was meant to replace the ill-fated SS Andrea Doria after her tragic sinking in 1956. The Leonardo da Vinci wasn't just another ship. She became the last Italian line passenger liner to sail across the North Atlantic, marking the end of an era. Today, we'll dive into the story of this remarkable liner. I hope you all enjoy. Like I said earlier, the SS Leonardo da Vinci would be owned by the Italian line. The Italian line suffered significant losses during World War II, with many of their passenger liners, including the renowned SS Rex and SS Conte di Savoia, being destroyed. The few ships that survived the war were all built in the 1920s. In 1949, the company received government subsidies to construct two new liners, each approximately 30,000 gross registered tons, for transatlantic service to New York City. These ships were launched in 1953 and 1954 as the SS Andrea Doria and the SS Cristoforo Colombo, respectively, marking Italy's re-entry into the transatlantic passenger business with some of the finest vessels on the New York Mediterranean route. However, the Andrea Doria tragically sank after only 3 years in service on July 25, 1956, following a collision with the Swedish-American line's MS Stockholm. This disaster left the Italian line in urgent need of another ship for its North Atlantic operations. Right after the sinking of the Andrea Doria, the board of the Italian line was divided into three groups. One engaged in the court hearings concerning the tragedy, another focused on managing the company's ongoing operations, and a third worked on designing a new ship to take the place of the Andrea Doria. To streamline the construction process, they adapted the existing plans for the Andrea Doria, creating a design for a slightly larger vessel. Let's quickly go over the specifics of the ship. The Leonardo da Vinci would be constructed by the Italian shipbuilders at the Ansaldo shipyard in Genoa, Italy. The liner would have had a gross tonnage of 33,340 gross registered tons, a length of 232.60 meters, and a beam of 28.10 meters. The exterior design of the Leonardo da Vinci was quite similar to that of the Andrea Doria and Cristoforo Colombo. However, she was 19 meters longer, featured a larger superstructure at both the bow and stern, and had a slightly differently shaped funnel equipped with a smoke deflector fin. Moreover, her rear decks lacked freight handling equipment, resulting in a more spacious Lido area compared to her older near sisters. Aesthetically, she was one of the most well-balanced ships of her time, or perhaps any era. She originally showcased a livery identical to that of the Andrea Doria and Cristoforo Colombo, with a black hull and a slender white band painted 2/3 of the way up from the bottom of the black painted area. The new ship incorporated several innovations and enhanced safety features. Among these were extended watertight bulkheads, lifeboat davits designed to launch lifeboats at a 25-degree list, motorized lifeboats, and the division of the engine rooms into two separate compartments. Each engine was responsible for its own propeller, allowing the ship to operate independently from the other. the vessel was capable of reaching speeds of up to 25 knots. Other noteworthy features included infrared heated swimming pools, exclusive to first class, retractable stabilizer wings, full air conditioning, and private bathrooms in all first and cabin class cabins, as well as in 80% of tourist class cabins. Additionally, the ship was designed with the capability to be converted to run on nuclear power. Because of the potential for future conversion to nuclear power, the Leonardo da Vinci featured a distinctly different interior layout compared to most passenger liners. The designated location for the reactor was amidships, situated within the steam turbine power plant. As a result, the dining rooms and galleys had to be placed one deck higher than they were on the Andrea Doria and Cristoforo Colombo, effectively separating them from the ship's main operational area. There were no passenger hallways passing through the reactor area, meaning the forward and aft sections of the lower decks were completely isolated from each other. However, this separation was also typical of many other ships, even those without plans for a reactor, due to the engine room's forward position. Additionally, the Leonardo da Vinci became the first Italian liner equipped with an efficient water desalination plant capable of producing over 184,000 gallons of fresh water per day. She also featured 2 garages for 50 cars, with the first-class garage equipped with a fold-down door for easy access. Several of the ship's 30 lounges, dining rooms, and public spaces were designed by renowned Italian designers, including Vincenzo Monaco and Amedeo Lucicenti, who were responsible for the exquisite ballroom and cocktail bar. Other talented designers contributed to the remainder of the venues. Closed-circuit televisions were installed in all the main lounges. The Leonardo da Vinci offered a total of 524 cabins, accommodating 1,326 passengers across 3 classes: first, cabin, and tourist class, each exceptionally outfitted according to its respective class. On December 7, 1958, the Leonardo da Vinci was launched and christened by Carla Gronchi, the wife of Giovanni Gronchi, the president of the Italian Republic. The ship was delivered in the first half of 1960. Like her predecessors, the Andrea Doria and Cristoforo Colombo, the Leonardo da Vinci exhibited instability in rough seas. However, her larger size exacerbated the stability issues, prompting the addition of 3,000 metric tons of iron along her bottom to enhance stability. This modification made the ship excessively heavy for her engine power, resulting in significantly high fuel costs. On June 30th, 1960, the Leonardo da Vinci embarked on her maiden voyage from Genoa to New York City, commanded by the Italian line's senior captain Armando Pinelli. Upon her arrival, she was greeted with the traditional festive welcome given to liners making their debut in the city. Shortly after entering service, the Italian line announced plans to refit the ship for nuclear power by 1965 at the latest. However, this was never materialized, and at the time of the announcement, company executives were already aware that the Leonardo da Vinci would be replaced on the North Atlantic service by the new SS Michelangelo and SS Raffaello, for which planning had begun back in 1958. Following the delivery of the Michelangelo and Raffaello in May and July 1965 respectively, the Leonardo da Vinci was primarily utilized for cruising, mainly in the Mediterranean, but also occasionally venturing to the Caribbean, South America, and North America. Many of her tourist class cabins were considered too basic for cruise service, leading to their remaining unused during these voyages and further reducing the ship's profitability. In 1966, she was repainted in the Italian line's new livery, featuring a white hull adorned with a thin green decorative band, replacing her original black hull with a white band. In February 1970, the ship embarked on her longest cruise, a 41-day voyage from the Mediterranean to Hawaii, passing through the Panama Canal and back. Throughout the 1970s, competition from jet aircraft increasingly impacted the North Atlantic service. In 1975, the Italian line made the decision to withdraw both the Michelangelo and Raffaello from service. However, despite the withdrawal of state subsidies, the Italian line chose not to exit the North Atlantic service entirely, and the Leonardo da Vinci briefly resumed her original route until June 1976, when she too was taken out of service and laid up. In 1977, the Leonardo da Vinci was reintroduced into service, this time for cruising under the banner of Italian Line Cruises, a newly established subsidiary of the Italian line. The ship operated one-night cruises from Miami to Nassau in the Bahamas, but was found to be excessively large and costly to run for this type of voyages. On September 23, 1978, the Leonardo da Vinci returned to La Spezia in Italy to be laid up. Despite persistent rumors to the contrary, the Leonardo da Vinci never returned to service. After being laid up for 2 years, a fire broke out on board on July 4, 1980. The blaze raged for 4 days before the ship ultimately capsized. The once magnificent SS Leonardo da Vinci was declared a total constructive loss. This marked a sad and tragic end for one of the most elegant and stylish vessels ever built by the Italian line. The charred hull was later righted and towed to the scrapyard in La Spezia, where she was scrapped in 1982.
And that marks the end of a video, my friends. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, if you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing to the channel, as that would help out the channel a lot. Now, if you have any thoughts, comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section down below, as I absolutely love reading your comments. And please let me know in the comment section down below as well what ships you would like me to cover in the future. Now be as well sure to check out our social media pages. We are on Twitter, we are on Instagram, and we also recently have a website, oldshippinglines.com, where we have articles of the ships we cover and we have book reviews as well. I think you will enjoy the website very much. Now, with that out of the way, guys, I wish you all a good night or day, wherever you are. Stay safe, stay happy, and we will see each other on the next video. Goodbye, my friends.